Guacamole.
Hola.
Hola. Hola. Guacamole. Sam looks really big. You look ginormous, look. Look at me, I look like a little... Size of that! I look like a little pea sat in the corner. A little pea head. Yeah. Mason pea head. Right. I can't believe Vic from Battle Soap, he's just gone off the face of the earth now. Cheers, Vic. Thought that was going to be the future. Well, he got to see what was going on behind the scenes. He saw the... And he ran a mile. Yeah. Right, are we recording? There? Here? Everywhere? King Jam, come on down. Hold on. Obviously, you can't hear this, but... No, we need to do the clap for the audio. Well, yeah, but you can still link up. That's not the start of the audio. Oh, okay. That's just so you can link them up. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't keep it in. I just kept the last one in because it was quite funny.
I was
the way
there
you
like
just for ages.
I thought you was going to do it like that and then switch back, then that, then switch back, then that, then switch back.
I was going to try and make it as long as possible, but it was just like, I don't want to make it too long.
You need to do that edit of throwing Archie.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I need to make that.
Of him going along the street. I can't believe that. That's so funny. No, because he lands like that, you need to put him in like a little go-kart or like something.
Just like look,
and then
Mario Kart
yeah,
sort of thing. Just like driving down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe he like flew. Yeah. That's so funny.
I love the bit just because he goes off like, he bounces and then off sort of goes behind someone off screen. So it just looks like it never ends. And then starts laughing.
Are we recording now? We are. Oh, sorry.
Episode 23.
23.
23.
And it's the first one with all of us on camera.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did you and me.
We're on camera.
Then we did you and you. Don't worry about it.
We still need to sort out the intro song as well.
Yes.
What intro song?
No, John needs to sing.
We got it.
Yeah, but John yeah, but no, John's got a better song. Sing
yeah, I've got to sing us our actual one.
Yeah.
Which is what?
It would be a surprise, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was going to start singing it then.
I see. You
know it. You know
what it is, because I used to sing it at the start of like every episode.
Ready, beep, ready, beep. And it goes... that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh. And then we're
ready
say
for another episode
of the Huge Idiots podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Good to see all the creative choices have been made.
Yeah.
Without me.
Yeah, this was way before your time.
And then the guacamole one will be for like bleeping bits out.
Yeah.
Or like...
technical difficulties.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
John didn't get the memo about wearing a contrasting t-shirt to the black, so...
Yeah.
Newbury BJJ.
You'll only see his little ginger face.
Steroids.
Ensign Inuit. Legend.
I don't actually know who he is.
No,
this morning, fucking hell.
Neither of us do.
You've got to be in education. This morning, Ripley got up. I was wearing this, and she looked at it and said, "Who that?" And I was like, "That's this guy." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "And what's this, Ripley?" And she goes, "Rosie dog."
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, it's not Rosie."
Where?
The dog. That he's
Oh.
I miss that dog.
Yeah.
Anyway,
every time I ring you on WhatsApp, your picture is Rosie in it. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Rosie girl.
She was the best fucking dog in the world.
After Charlie.
No.
To you.
Well, everyone thinks their dog is the best dog in the world. No, so.
Shall we start this off?
No. How are you, John?
Shit. I'm good.
Yeah?
Apart, like, my hip's feeling a little bit better.
Pussied out judo last night.
I rested. I had a bit of work to do and I rested.
You have to do something 28 times for it to form a habit and you have failed, so now you're 28, start again from next week.
Shit.
No, actually, to be fair, we should be congratulating you for doing
something smart.
Doing a smart thing.
Thank you.
What's a smart thing?
I'm learning.
Well, he didn't feel good enough to train.
Oh,
so
I don't believe that waffle. He just didn't want to go and get thrown around.
I'm loving it at the moment. But I think Jack's coming in at open mat, so he's going to get to throw me around.
Fair.
Or I'll throw him around.
I'm going to try and get a Shark Tank as well.
But what's your percentage? Most importantly.
Are we doing that again?
Fuck yeah, we're doing it.
Okay.
We're doing it. We're just not going to spend like
28 minutes.
28 minutes talking about it.
I haven't got 28 minutes today.
Right, well, let's go. John, number me up.
80.
That's pretty good.
Fucking hell. You need to drink some more White Monster.
Or the pink one, the strawberry. That's nice as well. Or the green. the apple.
They're
all sugar-free ones.
Ugh.
See, I've never been one for energy drinks my whole life, and then this year I've had some.
Yeah, no shit, we've worked that one out.
Do you think it's made a big difference to me?
Yes, you go off your tits.
Well, like, just blabbering shit.
Sam literally had a mental breakdown in Sevenbone because you've had 3 monsters and you were just like...
laying into everything.
It was unbelievable.
The thing is, it's like a night out when you're the only one who's
sober one.
Yeah. And everyone's just been a total prick.
That's me and John normally.
To each other, to you, to strangers. And it's just like, this is not cool.
Yeah.
Well,
you were like that the other night.
But I've never got drunk or anything. So, but then I did have, 3 of those apple sodas that day as well.
Yeah.
While we're in there.
Interesting story about that. I've developed allergy to apple.
What?
Yeah. So I can't have... Really weird. We went to the pub and they accidentally poured us a pint of... it was... I don't know what it was. Anyway, it came out and it was cider and lemonade mixed. And I drank it and I fucking came out in like a mad rash. Like all my face was burning all the way around there. And I was like, oh, it must just be something in that. Because like... Obviously, I probably haven't had an alcoholic drink in like fucking however long.
Since you were 2.
I don't know. Anyway, then I went to Sevenbone, had one of those apple things, and it did the same thing. And I've never...
So I know what I'm going to do with Mikey now, rub an apple all over it.
Why? Because you're so fearful of my skilled jiu-jitsu, John. You have to do any
That's what it is.
cheating way of getting out of it.
Sam, how are you?
I'm not great because, well, I've hurt my knee, so I'm not training. I'm pretty sure it's just a sprain of the...
Just got to take it easy.
The LCL, so the outside one. It's a bit of a long story that we don't necessarily have to go into. Anyway, no one did it to me. That's the most important thing.
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. I would die
like the
by
clip
the sword.
that I put in of me
Live by
doing...
the slice, die by the slice. Also, this podcast is cursed. Definitely cursed.
Yeah, we can't...
Which will go into what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to anymore say...
anything about anything because it will happen.
Yeah.
So this podcast is going to be a silent podcast.
But it's over now.
Oh, it'd be so fucking annoying if I became a millionaire overnight, wouldn't it? And never had to work again.
Literally, when did we record that episode with you and me?
The week before last.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what day of the week?
Friday, I think.
Was it a Friday? Then the Monday was the open mat.
Yeah.
And I was slicing...
Yeah, but hang on. So in the podcast before that, you'd said
yeah,
about
because you
blowing
said
your own knee out, wasn't it?
Your knee, and have you ever had any like bad injuries? And you said you'd popped your knee calf slicing Ashley from that one where you come over the leg and their leg is like tucked in here, and you're wrapped around the like this, and you pull it in, which is quite cool.
Thank you.
It's a good move. However...
Oh, yeah, it's really cool because both of you have fucking blown your both own knees out because of it.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. And I was doing the same thing to Jake. Personally, I think it's because Jake is freakishly long. Like his legs.
He's got fat legs as well.
So instead of being like...
hard to...
Hold on. Instead of being like tucked in here, I was fucking have to do it all the way out here, like cranking, reaching. Anyway, the angles were all wrong. And...
Kapow.
Jake said it sounded like someone let off a banger.
It's a weird sound, isn't it?
A massive pop. Yeah.
For me, I thought it sounds like a carrot snapping. Someone just snapping a carrot. It's a horrible sound.
Yeah, it is like that.
We should get some sound effects for Spotify, like this.
It's like there's a meme, there's the Instagram thing, isn't it? With that guy, and it's like, oh, the noises my knees make when I go to... Yeah, it's like pop skiddy pop pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it did that. So I'm out of training for a while. I'm going to come back soon.
Tonight.
So I did teach, and I could kind of demonstrate some stuff, but not everything. My issue is I don't want to come back and then something happen to it, and I'll be either back to where I started or even worse. I would rather take time off, come back and stay back.
Can you like kneel down and put weight on it? Or not?
I can if it's
He's over 30.
straight.
I don't think he can do that anyway.
No, yeah, still tough. So
Have
I
you had a
can if it's
monster?
dead straight.
No.
But if it's twisted outwards at all and there's strain going outwards, then it's no bueno.
Oh, well.
So I've got to be quite careful. So we'll see. And my skin's quite bad. You said my skin's bad. I think kind of I think it's related to alcohol and stress, which often go kind of hand in hand, which is not good. But like, there's been lots going on recently, so it's just like lots of just stuff. I kind of feel like every time we do this, I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. But it's just like we haven't had a weekend of nothing, or like a normal weekend for ages. And we had the Newbury Business Awards thing, and just like,
oh yeah, I bet those 2, 3, 4 bottles of wine probably
they didn't help. They didn't help.
Did you know about Bernie bowing to the lady before leaving as well?
No, I didn't.
It's just like the funniest thing, because that's what the clip of Harry is in the street bowing, because he just randomly went up to this lady and just bowed to her.
No, I think he was saying like bye, well done, bye, and then he just went.
Just bowed.
And then we had family staying, and they drink a lot, so I was drinking. So I think that definitely contributes to it.
Yeah.
So my eczema on my head gets bad. It's been really fucking itchy as well. But again, stress, and if I can't train, there's not really able for that stress to go. So it's like, anyway. So like, there's nothing really wrong, but it's just like I'd like to be back at training,
Get some routine back in.
Yeah, and also the kids are talking shit.
I'm not getting into it.
And I can't do anything about it because I'm injured.
I'm not getting into it.
Make of that what you will, but
all I'll say is
don't chat shit when someone can't do anything about it.
You're getting mugged off by a guy that had to take a year out of training to do some running in a park run. All right? That's all I'm going to say about it. So,
what would you say your percentage is?
Rocking about 70.
Shit, we're changed position.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a white monster.
That's definitely not one.
Take two, neck two, one after another.
This one on the go. This episode
Don't do it.
has been
No,
sponsored
don't do it.
Absolutely no one.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice though. It's good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
What's it called?
nice manly drink there.
Trip. CBD infused, which is actually kind of misleading that they call it trip, because CBD is non-psychoactive, isn't it? So
No, I don't know. So I had a thing where I used to take. I'll tell you a little story about CBD oil. I used to take CBD oil for anxiety, and I was gradually like building up the strength of it. And I can't remember it's like in milligrams, isn't it? And I think most people recommend, I don't think you should go over like 2,000 milligrams or something like that dosage. And I'd gone up to like, it was like 15,000 milligram. No, 15.
Do you just neck it?
Anyway, it's like just little drops. I can't remember. Don't quote me on the numbers. But anyway, and then it was like this gold one. And I took it one morning at my house, and I was like, suddenly just started feeling really weird and like a bit more anxious and stuff. And I was like, I remember just sitting on the sofa like what's going on? Anyway, it turns out that there's a certain amount of percentage of THC that can slip through and then obviously when you go up the milligrams, that's more of a percentage that gets through. And then I gave it to my dad actually, and he said he had a similar thing happen to him with it, and so I fucking chucked it away. I was like,
you might have had a tainted batch, or
maybe
probably
someone in the factory is probably like, watch this.
yeah.
There's just Mason like this on the sofa after.
And the other thing is, on the camera I might be quite big. That's nothing to do with how I am, but I just want to mention it.
No, it's because you're a lot bigger than us.
I'm not actually massive, but I'm nearer to the camera. So it's an optical
What
illusion.
do you weigh at the moment?
Like in that.
What do you weigh at the moment?
Probably still the mid 70s, even though I'm not training or anything.
Yeah.
Ashley's like 74 at the moment.
He looks fat.
He is fat.
Yeah.
Like, he is big. And his mullet's got long.
Yeah.
Bless him.
He's let himself go.
Yeah. I said to him he needs to get rid of the whole lot, and the fat. But
that's rich coming from you.
well, he was saying like,
you can't hear it.
Oh, okay.
But growing up, he's always been doing like cross country and all that, and being really fit, being the fit one. Now it's taken the turn. now he's becoming the fat one. So I
what you
can
get
rip
for
into him.
being gay and training no gear only.
Yeah. So, Mason,
How are you?
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You got any stories to tell us?
It's not good enough. No, wait. Start with generally how you are and give us a number, a percentage.
Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's normal. Training's normal. Life's normal. Probably I would say about 80, 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did
In fact, yeah, I'll go 85 because
Normal
I've always.
it sounds like you're trying too hard to make it sound normal.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Is
no.
your training going wrong?
Training's good.
Sure.
You sure? Yeah. Could don't fucking look like it.
How did you get those scratches?
All right, so this is the other reason this is cursed. Because John
Yeah.
was talking about popping his knee, doing the exact same thing, and then I, like 2 days later, popped my knee, doing the exact same thing, the exact same way. And then you guys did one last time, where you were saying about how, I don't know, judo, wrestling, all that, it's not necessarily like all that for like
Wait, he said
self-defense. Yeah. And then you have...
So
Yeah.
I'm going to say this.
Allegedly.
This has happened because I don't know if I should be publicly.
You're fine.
Just in case.
From a legal perspective, as someone who's not a lawyer or
Yeah.
legally qualified.
Are you standing by me in court?
And was for only in the police for a very short amount of
Okay.
time. But I did pass the National Investigators exam.
That's fine.
Which is quite a difficult exam to pass.
But I'll say allegedly an incident took place.
Which may or may not have ever happened.
Yeah.
And now he's going to start wrestling in judo because of
No,
it.
I'm not. God.
Start. What was the day
so
like?
I'll say, my 2 points that I'll make from it is, or a couple of points is, and then I'll get into it. Wrestling is quite effective. It's, what was I going to say about that? I'll just get into it. So,
Do you want us to do like a reenactment? We act as, like, we'll do the voices of the two other people.
no, it's fine. It's fine. So basically, yeah.
Move your fucking van!
That is actually what happened, yeah. So we pulled up, guy that works for me was parked in a space on a road, and I normally just get out of the van, walked up to his window, and like he was just drinking a coffee or whatever, and I was just stood there talking to him, and then van came down the road and basically did that. So pulled up and was just like beeping, and I was like looked, and I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And then we just thought like he couldn't get through or something. And then anyway, he did it again and was like, and then I wound down the window and was like, yeah, move your fucking van out the way. And then he's like, move your fucking van, dickhead. And I was like, Simon was like, is he talking to us? Like, anyway, so he beeped again and then shouted out the window again. So I walked over, and I just said, oh, like, what's going on, sort of thing. And he was like, I've told you 5 times, move the fucking van, dickhead. And I was like, oh, like, okay. I was like, did you, like, said, I can't really remember because it started to get a bit like, but I remember saying to him, like, oh, I don't think you need to be calling me that or whatever. And then he was looked like quite an older bloke, really. I would say, I don't know. I'll just say he looked a bit older. I don't really know, but he said, there's 2 blokes in the van, and the other one said, don't fucking start something, because if we have to get out this van. And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, it's fucking Monday morning. We'll just move the van, mate. I was like, whatever. And then but I didn't. I should have, but I didn't. And I was like, I said, what the fuck are you two going to do if you get out the van? I was like, you fucking old men. And then
Challenge accepted.
yeah, basically. It went down a bit worse than I was expecting it was going to go down. So I didn't think anything of it. I sort of was just like, oh, fuck off. Like, we'll move the van, whatever. There's like a T-junction, like a T-junction. At this point, the guy that works for me, he'd reversed up, pulled into the T-junction right. So I walked across the road and went to go back to his van to just be like, fucking hell, these 2 blokes are just starting on me, whatever. Yeah. As I got across the road, I heard the van rev, and then it just stopped, and then both the doors just slammed shut. And it was all going on behind me, and I was like, and you just know, you were like, oh, this is going south. So Simon like got out of his van, the guy that works for me got out of his van, and like we sort of just like and he just gave me a look as if to be like, oh, turned around, and matey the driver just literally just grabbed me round the throat, slammed me up against this wooden fence that was behind me, and I was like, fucking hell. And he was like, fucking old man, I'll fucking show you, old man, blah blah blah, shouting at me. And I don't remember, like Simon said to me afterwards, he was like, you literally just rolled your eyes and was like, took a deep breath. So I just basically like, well yeah, just fucking kicked off. But it was like, all I did, and I will now say that gi training is way more realistic to the street than no gi. So he had me round the throat and he was just shouting at me. So I did literally grabbed his collar, grabbed his sleeve.
Was he just in a t-shirt?
No, he was in like a jacket. I used the fence, like pushed myself off the fence, and then I just literally stepped across and hip tossed him straight over and onto the floor. Went knee on belly, still had the same grip, so I just put my knee right in his solar plexus and just rammed it, like
hip
pull,
toss or outside trip.
Yeah, outside. Yeah, but well, put my hip to his hip. And flipped him over. Is that still a hip toss?
So your foot went behind.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah. So basically like that, turned sideways and then went like that.
Yeah.
He fucking hit the deck. But I remember it in slow motion. I remember thinking to my head, don't let his head hit the ground. So I really gripped onto his collar so that he was like neck up, if you know what I mean. Because I didn't want his head hitting the tarmac. And then dived the knee on belly in. I did that thing like where you pull it up and drive your knee in at the same time.
Nice.
And then it's sort of, well, he reached up. That's why I've got scratches all over my face, because he reached up and grabbed my face, like clawed at my face. And then it pretty much started to de-escalate from that point. Like everyone was going, get off him. And then the other bloke tried to grab me. And something happened with him because he ended up on the floor, but I don't really... I'm trying to
the red mist.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Ring doorbell footage because we was right outside someone's house.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what happened. And then...
You're unlikely to hear from the police about this incident.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah, that's it. And then, I just like, it felt like ages, but probably a few seconds. And then I was just like, are you done now? Do you want to just stop and get up? And then so I just let go of him. But at one point when he grabbed my face, I grabbed his wrist and I just wanted to fucking
slap on a wrist lock.
I was like, no, don't hurt him, like don't hurt him. In my head I was like, just don't hurt him. But so that's happened. So
what are your key takeaways from this?
I was saying to you,
first of all, run in your mouth.
Well,
you got to get that shit under control.
Yeah.
You're an unstoppable gobshite.
Yeah. Calling him an old man probably...
Imagine him with a monster as well.
Yeah.
In that situation.
I was half asleep. Literally, it was Monday morning. I was late to work because Koa had kept us up. And then that, like, I was knackered, and then that happened, and then it wasn't even my fucking van parked there. I was just stood in the street, like. But points to take away. I was saying to Sam is like, it was incredible how easy he went down, and I was saying like, you don't realise how effective certain stuff is when someone's clearly got never trained anything in their life. Like he just went like no effort, if you know what I mean, no base. Second point is the gi grips, because that was my initial reaction, was just to go boom like that, if you know what I mean, like I would with in training. And I think as well it was incredible how calm in the situation I felt. I didn't feel
so used to someone grabbing you.
I didn't feel panicked at all when, like, even to the point where when I went up against the fence, he was like really going at it, if you know what I mean, and I just didn't even... I just like remember thinking, grab hold of him and then do this and then trip him over. Don't. Did
you ever think when he grabbed and pinned you to the fence, you were thinking, mate, like you've got to do it this way because it doesn't work like that?
Well, I said afterwards, I was like, two hands around the throat is shit. Like, I'd do that shit just for fun. But it wasn't great. He yeah, he was fuming. He was fucking fuming, this bloke, allegedly.
Could have all been a dream.
That's a really good story that you made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so that happened on Monday, and then on yesterday, the other guy that works for him spoke to the guy that was in the actual, so like the guy that works for me, whose van it actually was parked in the way, and he was like, oh, you know, really sorry, that didn't need to happen, that escalated way too quickly, blah blah blah. And they had a few, like, you know, sort of like words between them, but mate, he was like, when it happened, I can't remember what the guy said. Something like, the guy was arguing with like Simon, the guy that works for me, and Simon turned around and went, well, that fucking didn't work out the way you was expecting it to. And then yesterday, yesterday, I'm getting confused with my days because we normally record on a Friday and it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yesterday he came up to Simon and was like, oh, mate, he was saying apparently afterwards, he was like, fucking hell, we picked on the little guy because we thought it wasn't, you know, like, didn't think anything of it. He was only a little bloke is what they said. So just shows, isn't it?
The issue is you clearly have enough stand-up skill to
get my purple belt,
to deal
Couple more years.
couple more street fights.
Yeah.
And this is we have a distorted perspective because we're constantly training against people who are also trained grapplers.
Yeah.
Whether that be wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, whatever. And we joke about the fact that you have zero stand-up. You obviously don't have zero stand-up.
Yeah.
And even what you get by
I just have zero stand-up against John.
Yeah, but that's fucking John. Look at the size of him.
Yeah.
It's not my size.
But
It's my technique and beauty.
But just a little bit goes a long way against someone who just has
even when
nothing.
even when he was on the ground, like, you know, when if you was to do that to someone in jiu-jitsu, they'd be like fighting, trying to push your knee off or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was
just straight
no
into
idea.
panic.
There was no, it was pure panic. Like I say, he what reached up and grabbed my face. Yeah, that's my fault. I was saying to Sam, I had terrible posture. I should have raised my chin. But yeah, like there was nothing. It was just like pure panic, and then his mate trying to get him out of the situation. If you know what I mean, like,
Because I'm pretty sure, like, for him, that situation of being swept onto the floor and a knee on belly, he's probably never experienced that in his life, and just thinking, what the fuck do I do here?
But I said to him afterwards, like,
the guy you pinned.
yeah, not sort of. There was still a bit of arguing, and mate, he was saying, just calm down, and I said, I was like, you're lucky in a sense, because we live in a society of people that, like, someone else could have done that to him, tripped him over. This guy was so vulnerable then, like, other people that would have got in a serious argument, you know, his face was all open, you could have rained punches down on him. I could have stood up and, like, just kicked him in the head or whatever. Like, why are you starting an altercation when you have no idea
Over something so simple.
Exactly, but also you have no idea who you're starting that fight with. Like they said, the guy even admitted that they did it because I'm small, look like nothing, you know, little weedy guy with glasses, basically. And
But now, after that experience, are they going to do it again? Or are they going to think twice? Or are they going to make sure there's 4 of them?
hopefully they think twice.
Well, because you said the younger guy who was actually trying to stop the whole thing from the start came up to you afterwards and said he's been doing that his whole life.
Yeah, he said, that's what he said. I've worked for him for 16 years, and he said he is constantly getting into arguments, road rage, arguments with people, like shouting at him. And most people, he said, everyone just goes, oh, sorry, mate, yeah, whatever. And that's what he wanted us to do, obviously, clearly, was be like, oh, sorry, mate, yeah, I'll move the van, sorry, mate. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lesson in there too, because there have been a few times where people have had a go, like I've done something that's obviously pissed them off, but like nothing that bad. There was one time where there was a lady in a car, I was riding my bike to the office, and she let a pedestrian cross, and there was also time because I was in the middle of the main street trying to turn in, so I also went, and she drove past and had a right go at me. I wasn't telling you to go, blah blah blah. And I was like, no.
So you ripped her out the car,
no one had to stop or change, and she did it as she was like going past, so she felt like she was all right to just basically gob off. And I was like, carried on to the office, and I thought, you know what, not like I'm gonna go at her, But this is a teachable lesson to her of like, don't run off at like someone who you don't know who someone is.
Yeah.
No.
The fact that that guy did that to you, and this kind of, not an old lady, but she was middle-aged, had to go at someone like me who's not going to go after her and drag her out of the car and blah, blah, blah. Some people would do that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so I then turned my bike around and I was like, if she's still up in that little bit, I'm going to find her and just say, you need to be a little bit more cautious with how you throw your language around, because...
I think people in the heat of the moment just don't think.
Yeah, and
but
this is the thing about training.
Yeah,
it gives
I think you
presence
think.
of mind.
Yeah,
That's why,
exactly.
That's massive.
The only time I've ever had an issue so far is with a bit of road rage. Someone got pissed off and come flying up behind me, beeping and all sorts. We came up to like a junction. He got out. I got out, and then he started just going off his head at me.
Did you sit down and like butt scoot towards
No,
him?
I literally just looked at him in the eyes and said, "Do we have a problem?" And just he kept talking shit, and I just said, "Do we have a problem?" And just looked at him dead in the eyes. And with that, he just ended up getting back in the car and going.
Well, that's the thing, because this lady changed her tune immediately. She
Yeah.
thought she could say that and just drive off, and she was parking her car literally just up the street. I was like, that's not smart.
Yeah.
And so I go up to still on my bike and everything, and I just say, you know, can you see how your gesture to him could be confusing to someone who's also trying to turn into the street, first of all. Second of all, please be careful with who you speak to like that,
Yeah.
because not everyone's going to take it very well. And she fucking shat herself. You could tell. I'm going to the dentist right here, and they know I'm coming, and blah, 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 blah. Like, she was genuinely scared.
Yeah.
Not that I was being scary.
But the zombie knife that you had up against her throat probably didn't help.
I mean, it didn't help.
Yeah.
But just the fact that someone was then challenging her made her really question what she'd just done. And I think that impulsive behaviour, like, have some control of your stuff. And that guy obviously didn't have control of his stuff, and he'd be encouraged to be a dick because people don't stand up to him.
Yeah.
But then you run this gamble of this person needs standing up to, but equally I'm then engaging, and if he'd gone down, wanged his head on the concrete and was dead,
That's it.
as could happen, there's
That's it.
small chances, but it can happen, right?
That's
this,
why.
this whole story would be really different. Not like the chances of you getting injured are very small because of all your training, but the chance of him getting injured goes up. And then we're in this big old.
That's what I
sticky
said, because
mess.
afterwards, like, you think about the situation. I was stood at his van, but I left the situation. I literally walked away. I just, like, went, you know, like anyone would. I was just, oh, fuck off, mate, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Left the situation, was probably 10, 20 metres away from where the altercation had happened. And then he chose to still enter it, get out and approach me.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a different
and stuff
thing.
like that really matters.
Yeah, if I'd have started the situation at his door, then different, because I've approached him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was all in. I would never have just started some random altercation. Like, it was all in a way of, like, the only reason why it went to anything was because he grabbed hold of me. And what do you do? You know, what do you do in that situation? You just...
In those instances, you're absolutely justified to do that. I mean, that's the perfect time to do exactly what
that's it.
you did.
Yeah. But I don't recommend it because, again, I think a lucky situation for me...
You didn't get punched in the back of the head or something.
Exactly. Like, I saw it, I turned around, I took it head on, because I don't know what the fuck he would have done if I'd have carried on with my back to him. Like you said, he could have just, like, laid one into
Could have
the back
even
of
had
my
a
head.
tool from.
Well,
the
that's it, exactly. And like, when I say he was raging, like, you'd have thought I'd have just punched his wife in the face. Like, he was fuming.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like, over someone parking on a public road. Like, unbelievable, really.
Did you find that like the fact he's so angry was a difficult thing to deal with? Just because obviously when you're training jiu-jitsu, you're against your mate and you're like, yeah, come on, mate, let's go.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it that isn't part of our training, where someone's fucking effing and jeffing at you.
Yeah.
That does change.
Like, I didn't.
Right?
There was no argument from that second onward. I didn't really say a word. I was just in the mode of, like, right, I'm just going to like de-escalate, like I'm going to pin him here. And then, like I said, I just remember the only thing I think I said to him when he was on the floor is like, are you done now? Like, do you want, like, am I getting up? Yeah. And then that was it really. Like I wasn't shouting at him. I wasn't saying anything. It was just like, and then I can't think if it was his, like, I don't know if it was his mate or my mate that basically like held his shoulders because he like sat up, and then someone held his shoulders and I just stepped away.
It must have been his mate, because I think if it was any of your guys, he wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was...
I think that's a good example as to why we should start doing a class once a week where we just get strangers in to fight.
Just beat them up.
Yeah, just get people that are really pissed off for some random reason, got no training, and just bring them in.
I think it proves a lot. I think like if he doesn't reevaluate like
what he does now,
the way he acts with people, or how that situation, like, you imagine in his head,
yeah,
he had that whole situation panning out in a way different way than what...
He's so used to people reacting, being, oh, sorry,
he's
mate.
He's been conditioned into it.
Yeah. He either wanted me to just
be a bully,
shit myself, start apologising, or he was going to fucking punch me, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you did... Not when he grabbed you, but there is an option in there to be... Get your head down. I'm really sorry. Yeah, not happen again. Blah blah blah. And like that's how I act. Like,
well, as he walked over, I remember putting my arms out. Like as I turned around and he was coming at me, I put my hands out as if to, and I said something like, you know, like, mate, this is all over a parking space or so. And then it was like, boom, you know, he grabbed. So I was like,
which is totally
trying to create the distance.
Crosses a boundary.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
That's what you say. I don't know. This is what you said, isn't it? Like, this is your space, and that's why if you put your hands out and you can touch someone, as soon as your arms then crushed into you or you're there beyond that space, then they're in your space, and that's them on the attacking then.
Which, and also is better for your, like, for us, for people who have grappled, connection is good.
Yeah.
So when
you get close enough, that's what
someone
we want.
intrudes, they think they're good because they're getting aggressive and in your face.
That's it, yeah.
And that's this.
That's where we're, like, a grappler is comfortable having someone that close to him, because on a daily basis we've got people right in our face, we've got crotches, arses in our face.
Yeah, and it's being desensitized.
I think the oil check is when he really shut up.
Do that. But it's like if you've ever crashed a car or almost crashed a car, you can't imagine what it's like, what it feels like until
it's slow-mo, isn't it?
You're in it and you're like, wow, that was something really powerful that I don't understand, and it actually felt quite dangerous.
But I think
if someone who's never done anything is then like basically ragdolled by someone who's quite a well-trained grappler,
thank you, sir.
I think that's a similar thing. It's like, okay, you can explain to someone who's just passed their driving test, let's say, of like, please be careful, because crashing a car is no fucking joke. But until you've had a scare or a proper crash, then you really understand what that is.
I just had a great image of, after you said about the oil check, of just this guy coming across the podcast and hearing the oil check and then just Googling what oil check is.
It's like when you sent us the meme of that guy who's like, oh, here's my step-by-step tutorial of the oil check or something.
That's it. Yeah,
you were watching, weren't you?
But I was joking afterwards. I was like, I wasn't training that day, but like it would have been a different situation if he'd have seen that blue belt in the front of the van. It's like that meme, isn't it? When it's like, I think we should get some mace, or it's like the girlfriend says, do you think we should get some mace or a taser? And he's like, what for? And she's like, protection. And it's like he's like, we don't need protection. It's like one stripe white belt.
But which is a joke, but it's also kind of true.
Well, I was going to come on to that, because did you listen to any of the video that I sent you of that podcast clip?
Yeah.
Did you listen to some of it?
Yeah.
Where they talk about like the level of jiu-jitsu knowledge to the percentage they could take out. So, for example, I can't remember exactly what level they said, but like a 3-stripe white belt could take out like 80% of the male population.
I've said this.
Like
they reckon a white belt that's been training, I think it's, I always get it wrong, but I know exactly what I'm about. It's like a white belt that's been training like 6 months is more dangerous than 90% of the population or something like that.
But what would you say amount of training a week would be? At least 3 times a week, I'd say.
I think, I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Well,
because
depends,
people learn at
doesn't
different
it?
rates.
There's lots of other variables like strength and size, general athleticism, drugs someone's on, how angry they are, all that stuff is really variable.
It's
and also the exposure of that person to stress or to angry people. Like
someone's just knocking on the door.
Yeah, that's
it's the ops. They're back again.
Hola, guacamole.
We have a weapon.
Yeah. I got 3 stripes on my blue belt.
Hello.
My blue belt on
Did
you.
you just drop off the spare keys?
Sick 'em, boy.
Yeah, literally just dropped my key off.
You're on the podcast, by the way.
This is great.
Oh, hi.
What's your opinion on jiu-jitsu? Why are you here?
Baffles me.
That could
Don't
be
understand it.
that could be taken good or bad, I suppose.
It also keeps you in work.
Question mark on that one. Baffles my head. Yeah, no, just post the key through for me.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to give her a shout out, sponsor?
Oh yeah, Sweet Aesthetics.
Sweet Aesthetics.
Jiu-jitsu people out there in Newbury, if you need a sports massage to keep you on the mats, hit her up.
Yeah, I use West Berkshire Injury Clinic.
I use her, like, she's literally right there. So, like, after work, I can go get a massage sorted once every 3 or 4 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
But she's given me a spare key for a unit in case, because she's giving birth soon.
Have your own massage then. You just go in there and give yourself a back rub. Thank you.
I think she's due in June. So she's going to be off work, and then in case, for some reason, something needs to happen, I can unlock it.
In case she has, like, someone needs to come in for a massage. Just John in there, oiled up.
Have you seen the...
Come in and take your clothes off. Why have you not
Friends
got your clothes on, John?
Where he starts jabbing the old man with a pair of spoons. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I imagine you feeling like. Yeah, well, there you go.
How long have we been recording for?
46 minutes.
Bloody hell.
So far. That's something that the police did really well, is that they've changed their training a bit now compared to when I was there, but they're very good at giving, as part of your training, giving you good bad guys.
Yeah.
So the instructors come in as the bad guys.
Yeah.
And because not all of them, but a lot of them have been officers or are officers still, they know the kind of fucking scabs you're dealing with, and they can F and Jeff like...
Yeah.
Do you think it's...
Good. And that can like desensitize you to the stress again, because you're having to solve a problem and troubleshoot and dynamically risk assess all that stuff when someone's
It was literally
angry.
It was literally like like tunnel vision, if you know what I mean, as in to the sense of like I thought I'd be a bit like someone's shouting and screaming in my face or whatever, and it was just a bit like, and it's like I know it's adrenaline, but it's like the cuts on my face, I didn't even feel them till like 3 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Simon was like, oh, he did fucking get you on your face, do you know what I mean? And like that was, my nose was bleeding, and it was like, oh yeah. But he didn't have any cuts and bruises, the bastard. Just very sore the next day. I should
Probably a sore rib.
yeah. Matt sent a message, and I was telling them about it, and he was like, oh, I know how like he said, I know how it feels to have you do the knee on belly when I'm on mats, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, let alone after being chucked onto concrete and then driven into concrete. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really think about that.
You've got a soft knee on belly.
Well, we'll try that out later. I'm on top of the world this week. Don't worry. I'm going to get truly fucking humbled at open mat later.
6 minute mother's milk.
Yeah. He just walks through the door. I fucking heard you trained here. Oh, no.
Yeah, well done.
I don't know, not well done.
No, I
But-
think it is because it's
He's
that-
learned something now.
that
He won't talk shit about
so
wrestling or judo.
apart from the start where you had a chance to be like, yep, fine, don't worry, your little niggle,
Yeah, I shouldn't have.
but equally you should be allowed to have a little go at someone
Yeah.
who's already started having a go at you,
Yeah.
and them not then actually get out of the van and grab you.
It's amazing
Yeah.
how like
So
one
that's not
sentence
saying
can
you
change the
instigated
whole
it.
dynamic
You still
of the.
didn't. You still didn't actually instigate it. And again, like people,
He called me a nasty name.
you can't you can't give without getting, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's another lesson to him. And like you could have backed that. And like that's something I do if like so another time I parked in front of an old lady's house.
Fucking hell, you love picking on old women.
Like in a completely normal parking spot, and she was like, "I have people coming to my door. Don't park there." And I was like, "Technically, I'm allowed."
Is
to
this the
park
lady up
there."
your street?
No.
Oh, because she had a go at me once.
Was that the lady next door?
No, the one up
No.
towards the end. I parked outside her house once. We were trying to work, and she was like, I came back. I was moving the van. She was like, "Oh, thanks for parking outside my house," and I couldn't get in. I was like, "You're welcome."
But that's the thing. If it's like someone like that, and it's like a little old lady running her mouth, you're not going to be like, "Oi, you don't fucking talk to me like that."
Yeah.
You're bad. It's just like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Yep, absolutely fine. Like that's fine." But then equally, again,
'em.
that's different because this guy should know better.
Yeah.
And he's being a bully. That's someone who's
Do you
just
know
kind
what's
of
really
annoyed, and that's
interesting?
fine.
Yeah.
But he's a bully and should
Yeah.
know better. And so you are tempted to have been like, "All right, you knob," or just like say something because we just do.
The comment I made was sort of like almost like a meant to be sort of like a funny comment in a way of being like, "Oh, what are you gonna do, old man?" sort of thing. As in like,
Yeah.
it
Like
was
a bit of banter.
It was kind of meant, sort of like it was meant in force, but also I would say it to like someone else, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Which
like,
is also making a joke can often be a good
Yeah.
kind of de-escalation
Yeah.
in those kind of social aggression.
It didn't de-escalate.
Made it worse.
You made a gamble. It didn't pay
yeah,
off.
yeah.
It is amazing how literally a sentence can change the whole dynamic of a whole situation that unfolds afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's often people who are looking for that one little thing that
Which by the sounds of it, this
they
guy
think
was.
justifies them getting out of the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was looking for it. Like if not that, he probably would have found some other thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
So
But what's weird is that we're literally working 2 doors down from them.
so awkward.
So you've
And
seen
they're
them quite
still
often.
working there. Yeah, I've seen them every day since.
Do you just wave and smile?
No, so the young lad's like always putting his thumb up to me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I came around the corner on the day after, and the young lad that works for him was parked in his van there, and I came around the corner, and he was like mouthing out the window, going, "Get out of my fucking parking space." So he found it really funny.
Tell you what, you should take business card for Newbury BJJ.
Yeah. Like, "Oh, if you want to learn how to do that."
And actually, you actually need a labourer, don't you? I
No,
don't.
sorted it.
Oh, fine.
What you need to do is just wear a Newbury BJJ
I'm kind of glad I wasn't.
top or like
I'd have,
tatami.
in a
Yeah,
weird way,
there's
I
an
reckon
element
if
of
I
that.
was, I would have. If
But
I would
do
have
you-
probably
do you
had
think
to have
people know
messaged.
what that means, though.
No.
They wouldn't have. But like the thing that happened to you for that guy,
I was gonna
like,
say, yeah.
that's a traceable
Yeah.
something, isn't
So
it?
Do you
there's-
think it could have been alright if you had something that said like tatami fight wear on it? Someone would think different.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have cared about. If I'd have had Newbury on, I genuinely probably would have either rang Bernie or messaged Bernie straight away and said, "Look, mate, this has just happened."
Yeah.
And I was wearing a Newbury Jiu-Jitsu hoodie just for the pure fact that if you just don't know, do you? Imagine
No.
if like
It's just
someone
good
saw
practice.
it and
Yeah.
then like posted on the social media saying this, that, and everything else or whatever. But obviously, like, we don't need to worry about that because this is all a hypothetical thing and it didn't
Yeah.
actually
It
happen.
was all
If
a
it
dream.
did,
Yeah,
that could-
yeah.
yeah.
Do you
But
think
yeah,
it would make a
because-
difference though? Like wearing something that says fight wear on it or something?
Nah.
No.
People used to wear like that fucking tap out shit all the time,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
they? Like, I just don't think it matters. But good point coming off of that is another incident. Didn't really happen to me. Oh, I don't actually know if I could.
Well,
could I-
you should do it, and then if we need to just cut the whole
Yeah.
chunk, we'll cut the whole chunk.
So Sam knows about this, but basically another sort of incident that happened. My
Is this recent or old?
you sort of know about it actually because of something that happened, but I'll try and make it vague. A family member was at work, had to deal with an incident, and a young guy my age ended up getting into a shouting argument with the family member, and sort of ended up spitting in their face.
Oh shit.
It's important, I think, to say, if it's right with you, that it was a female
family member, and
you can understand spitting in your dad's face.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I do it all the time.
He's got a face for it.
And anyway, and then got to thing, and very threatening. But he trains and was wearing a hoodie of the place that he trains at.
Oh jeez.
So family member rang me up, and I said no worries, and she said to me, oh, he had this hoodie on. I went, perfect. So literally got straight on the phone to that gym, and I was like, this has just happened, his name's this, he's got a hoodie on, it's all on CCTV wearing your brand of your gym. And I was like, that if that was me, I'd be absolutely disgusted by this.
Yeah.
And basically what I was saying, linking off of what you're saying about wearing stuff, it can,
if you're a knobhead,
which unfortunately martial arts do attract knobheads.
Yeah.
Which they did then try and come and train.
So then that actual guy,
which this bit might be cut, but
yeah,
I think it's fine. This is all very vague.
He came to do a class, and I know you were there, and you were there.
He came to a couple.
That was it. Yeah, he came to a couple, but he came to one with me.
Yeah.
And you said to me, I stopped training, and I walked to the side of the mat, and I wouldn't train. And you said to me, what's going on? And I told you the story.
Was this the early days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah. And you said to me, what the fuck's going on, basically. I told you the story, and then I don't know what happened because he's never come back since. But yeah. But again, most people said, when I've told people that story, they're like, well, why didn't you just fucking, get on the mats and sort it out with him? But that's not how you deal with things.
No.
If you've got something outside of the gym, you don't bring it to the gym.
You can have a rolling beef or an arch nemesis in your gym. That's fine.
But you don't bring something
drama
to the
inside.
gym. Yeah. No. And then, because imagine if that's the thing. They're not saying this was happen, but it's the thing where you see stuff happen on social media where you choke them out, you don't let them go, you make them pass out, or you break their ankle, you break their arm, whatever, and then I'm getting asked questions, and no matter what I say, oh, he did this to so and so, it's not good enough to create that drama at a gym. So I just pulled myself out of the situation, was I'm not training if he's here, basically.
But I think the fact that we were obviously close to each other and you were obviously well in with the gym, but I don't think anyone was spoken to. I think he just understood.
Yeah, I think he would have known who I was. Yeah, exactly.
For me to be.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing to point out to anyone who's listening, especially, to newbie BJJ students that are listening. Yes, scumbag.
fucking mullet.
Is that if there is anything, or anyone who starts training, or anyone who is training who makes you uncomfortable or has done something, no matter how small you think it is,
let us know.
Do come speak to the coaches,
especially if it's Mason.
Get him out. We're just waiting for the opportunity to get him out, and
we've got 2 strikes at the moment. We just need a third. So someone just please tell us.
Street fighting.
But because it is a very trusting environment, and we're a very close knit community.
We're like a little family.
Yeah, and I'd like people to be able.
Cheers. Where was you guys on Monday morning then?
Hey, I offered you back up later in the day.
Yeah.
I was like, mate, I'm only up the road.
Part of me thought maybe he's that pissed off about it, he was going to call some of his boys up to come down or something.
So did we. Me and
I made sure my day wasn't too busy in case I got another call.
Me and Simon were in a minute, 5 vans are just going to pull up. We're going to be oh, fuck.
Well, that fucking happened when you were digging the foundations to do our house, weren't you?
Mate, he turned up with 3 of his guys, didn't they?
It's a long story short, they were all fucking old, but they were obviously all fucking crims as well.
Yeah. Can we just say, because at the moment it sounds like I'm
Bring
surrounded by drama.
Mason's a magnet.
No,
it's a shit magnet.
It just happened. I don't know why. It just happened. I tell you, one of the biggest things with drama.
Stop parking in people's spaces.
If anyone that listens is in the building trade, they'll get it. It is like
Wild
backwards
West.
in time. Yeah, like, and that guy, say the guy that this all happened to me on Monday, a builder, like, you know, it's just
it's
testosterone, like
I was in the building trade for a little bit, doing a lot of labour work for different trades and that, and you do see drama all the time.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not a drama magnet. If anything, I'm furthest from. I just like.
You like the peace.
Yeah.
But so if you are training and you have any concerns about something or something doesn't sit right with you or literally anything at all, come to any of us.
Don't bring it to the mats.
The coaches all have safeguarding training as well.
Yeah.
That's important to say. So we're like, that's a part of our job as coaches.
Make sure everyone feels safe and comfortable.
And if you want privately,
I don't feel safe when you're smothering me.
I can't speak for any of the other coaches, but for
Not him.
myself and John, and obviously Bernie as well, please feel free to message us privately, talk to us separately. Yeah.
And this is not an open invitation to be like,
So and so, I'm annoyed because there's a limit.
Yeah.
Oh, John just suplexed me.
Yeah.
That's becoming a thing. John Harrison's doing it as well now. I'm fucking loving it. I'm creating a trend.
I've been doing it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it when they're in
I'm a
that,
trendsetter.
when
First
they're
it was
in
the
that
smother.
turtle position. I'm
I
like, oh,
started
go on
doing it
then.
as well.
Just throw him over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't at the moment. You've got one leg.
I'm good with one leg.
You training tonight?
I might come in.
Chris is coming in.
I know. I might come in for the chat, but I'm not training. I'm be really careful because I would want to come back and stay back.
He's bringing in a mate as well who's a black belt.
He wants to come back and be ready
Ready.
for that time.
What's actually happening is he's not got a bad knee. He's just practicing some submissions.
Yeah. He's got like Bruce Lee at home.
No, I'm stitching little razor blades into my gi, my belt.
Yeah. Peaky Blinders.
Dead.
You seen Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Oh.
Of course he's seen Peaky Blinders.
I don't know. He didn't give me anything back when I asked him that then. He just looked at me.
Peaky what?
It's the autism.
Me?
So I think
No, I don't. This is why I'm not that good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, same.
Not enough autism.
Yeah, I know.
is that why I'm good at jiu-jitsu?
That's exactly why you're good at jiu-jitsu.
Can you, this is a question, can you watch an Instagram reel of something and then try it on the mats?
Yeah, you can just do it.
I think I can watch a video and then I just know it from then.
Autism. See, someone else that we train with, I'm not going to
I've always been very good with visual. If I see something, then I usually can do it afterwards.
Fucking
Not
hell.
exactly to the point. It would take me a couple to get it exact. But
Yeah, but that's your jiu-jitsu full stop.
So I've been listening to a podcast called The Telepathy Tapes.
Whoa, you can't call out anyone else's podcast.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that?
It's not exactly competition.
Oh, okay.
It's basically about people who are so autistic that they don't speak. They don't
I talk
have
a
the
lot.
ability
That would be
to
nice.
speak. Yeah, you're not there. But it's this big whole thing, which is like that they are basically telepathic, and their parents work it out, and then they can also work out that these autistic people who can't speak or do a lot of like regular daily stuff apparently can telepathically speak to each other, like across different sides of the country and all sorts of shit.
God.
And they will know each other.
I reckon we
That's
test
some
this
crazy
out
shit.
right now.
Anyway, you've got just the right amount.
You and me, right now, what am I thinking? And I'll think what you're thinking. We have to try guess.
Yeah,
You do a countdown, then we just say what.
I'm getting a headache, like there's some sort of like transfusion going on here.
Okay.
Do a countdown, and then we just have to say the word of the thing that we're thinking.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Rabbits.
White monster.
Rabbits?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was thinking about rabbits.
Technically, a rabbit could be a white monster.
A white rabbit.
Could be white
Holy shit.
with sharp
Oh,
teeth.
no way. You guys are so telepathically linked.
You two then.
Anyway, that's basically like you're saying you're high level autism. So.
No, I'm not at all, though. This is the issue. John can read my mind, but I can't read his.
Oh, right, yeah. So you were thinking of white rabbits?
Yeah.
Easter, you know?
Right, this has got well off track.
Yeah.
How we're finishing it this time? Doing the old CBBC finish or
What's
the
the
jiu-jitsu
CBBC finish?
from the last week?
Oh, yeah.
Bye for now.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Creepy.
3, 2, 1.
Who clapped twice? Oh,
was
you
a bottle.
fucking state of you.